I got the schedule right here. So these are the dates that they're proposing or they have available. It kind of bleeds into the summer, so it's July 19th and 20th.
What dates are we, what are these dates for?
This is for the design charrette, the Plan New
the
Hampshire.
charrette
Yeah, the
itself.
charrette, yeah.
So, okay, so this is, it could be before the fall, is that?
It could, yes. This is what their availability is.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry, that's to work with them to come up with a design or?
it's for them to have the community event. So basically we'll have town stakeholders like municipalities. The design charrette is a 2-day event. One is to have municipal workers, and council persons, and other boards and committees kind of work with them and kind of do like kind of understand what they envision the Riverfront. Then the next day we'll open to the public, and the public comes in. So it's a 2-day event. So these will be in the weekends. So July 19th and 20th, 25th and 26th of July, August 2nd or 3rd, August 9th or 10th, August 23rd, 24th, September 6th and 7th, and then they say they can make October 18th and 19th work as well. So no rush now. And so what I'll do is get everyone's email, just do a doodle poll, and see what works for like the Riverfront, conservation, all the stakeholders within municipal government, and we'll work off that.
Yeah, that sounds great. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's no major rush, I guess, for providing input on the Riverfront chapter. It's a little bit later in the overall sequence, but if it's going to have its own, I'd obviously like this committee, I think, to have what it wants to say, what ideas we want to put forth, what we want to see out of it. So I guess just kind of start wrapping your head around that.
There's going to be multiple opportunities through surveys and also through community events like the design charrette.
Yeah. So.
Have you started to, are you going to attempt by the time of the charrette, are you going to sort of lay out is there an outline to what the chapter will contain, what the subheadings under chapter are be? You have some way of how, have you started to come up with an idea of how that's organized?
Yes, so we are starting to have a conversation on what the document's going to look like, not necessarily what we have the content right now for that chapter. Again, this is a 2-year update, so we think after the design charrette and the survey, using that information, then we'll start to draft the chapter. So I would say by next fall we'll be drafting that chapter.
But so going into the charrette, you're not going to?
No, we will not have anything yet because we don't have all the information yet. Right. So it's hard to.
So the process for that chapter is quite different than, because we've talked before, unless we're not understanding right. I think we've said we want to start to define what some of the choices we're looking for feedback on from the charrette by the time we have the charrette, so that it's put some structure around that. Is that still
right,
the way you think about it?
What we're doing right now with Plan New Hampshire is, having them understand what we want them to help us with. So at the end of this month, I'm going to be using this map to give them more context of, I'll be building off this, key questions, key asks from the town, what they want we're asking from them to help us understand. So again, going back to how's the Riverfront currently used, how it would like to be used in the future. Those are the 2 main questions right now, I think. And obviously, we have plenty of time to add additional questions that this body, creates, or in other forms. So going into the charrette.
Yeah, I mean, at one time I pictured, and I may have been just imagining it myself because we haven't talked that much about it. That we spend time here talking about sort of near-term objectives, medium-term, and things that might happen in the future, like a pedestrian bridge might or might not happen in the future. Some of those are themes like they're things that people would be interested in, and I wondered how, is it part of what we need to do as a group, or you separately, is structure that before the.
I think so. So I think going into the charrette, obviously the Riverfront Advisory, this body has questions it wants to ask. So we add those to the charrette. So yes, so I think we'll have some prompts going into the community events, just to get the discussion going, and then allow space for additional ideas or comments coming through that process.
Right.
So yeah, so we'll go into it with key questions.
And do you, in sort of the same process, providing some information? I mean,
Providing who information?
the members of the public there, do you provide them information about, this is some of the public areas, some of the maps and stuff?
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
show?
So during the charrette, we'll have outline those areas, and this is their status. This is and then so the public knows.
Okay.
Can have like a kind of a cheat sheet, crib sheet there of each area in town, and then what they would like to see.
Yeah.
Those areas improved or not. Yeah. Does that make sense?
It does. I think that's what we've been talking about. I just wanted to
Okay.
that was just are we still thinking about it that way? Or?
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay. Awesome. No, thanks for the update, Bart, and for the dates. Already kind of be able to start considering those.
Yeah. Again, I'll follow up with the doodle poll.
Like it.
Okay.
So item B, mostly just follow up on what Aiden had presented last month. And by we, I mean I had volunteered to kind of reach out to some of the folks that helped us with the last process and kind of have that follow up. I haven't done that yet, just with the holidays and all that kind of got away from me. So there is no follow up. I will follow up. I know you guys had wanted to be copied on that, so you haven't seen anything yet because I haven't done it. Last item of kind of new concept. I handed out a draft, but annual town report write-ups. Wendy's asking everyone to have those in by next Wednesday. What I handed out was basically pretty much last year's submission. The stuff that I highlighted in the middle is what did we do and what are we trying to do next year. I haven't edited this at all, so it still reads as what the write-up was in last year's report. We can workshop it a little bit now, where people can kind of think on it tonight and tell me what you think or whatever. But that's kind of, we need some input. If anyone has anything they specifically want to call out that they thought was a positive that was advanced this year, or something that they view as a major goal for next year. Just kind of looking for a little bit of input. I'll kind of aim, I guess, to probably finalize over the weekend or something. So sit on it for a couple days. Let me know what you think, and then we can kind of expand that. But this does make it into the actual annual town report as our submission. So anything we want to say, we have a forum to say it.
Does it make sense? Does it help the process to put in here? Because we've been talking quite a bit about sort of some of the building blocks into to reaching objectives of the charrette, of the fact that we're a discussion have a Riverfront chapter. Does any sentence that sort of captures some of those elements to getting public input into the process, would this be a useful place to put something of that nature?
In the annual report saying what you worked on.
Yeah, because that's what we're talking about now.
At the bottom, or the last chapter, or paragraph, I should say, is goals for 2024, and I think that's a good place to put, what we're planning to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also in the planning chapter, I'll mention, what the planning department has been working on, working with the Riverfront Advisory Committee. This is what we've done with them. So that'll be part of my update too. So there'll be multiple instances within the annual report that people will be able to read what the Riverfront Advisory Committee has done.
Yeah. But I think it'd be nice to have it in both places, kind of, because you're trying to build participation into the whole awareness and participation, public engaged in it.
Sure.
Agreed. Yeah, so I think it's good to outline those as kind of, upcoming items for 24, but also just that it's a building process as well. So, yeah, just sit on it, think
Nice job.
think about it.
Quick glance, but nice job. I'll look at it again and see if there's anything I want to change.
Yeah, and then just any input anyone wants to provide. I'll probably kind of finish it up over the weekend, get it to Wendy early next week. So kind of moving to old business. I may cede the floor to you guys again. I see a very nice, colorful map, which tells me that we've been doing some work, but something that we've been discussing a little bit and had kind of put as a looking to town staff to help with too has been nailing down a little bit of the property ownership or easement status for some of the adjacent properties through the core downtown, of just trying to aggregate information a little bit better about what was owned, what was privately owned, what's privately owned with easements, things like that. So thank you guys, and clearly it looks like you've invested time into that.
Yeah, so I plan on refining this a little more, so to kind of show the delineate, especially those easements that are delineated in the deed instead of a blanket easement. Just just a little more accuracy is embedded within the map. But yeah, it's really kind of what we're going to be using moving forward. Especially with the design charrette of the riverfront. These are the key properties, I'd say, that outlines what the town has access to, what it owns, or an easement that it can use, and then also some other public facilities as well. Really, I just identified. I know the legend's kind of small. I have to work on that. But really, conservation land, parking facilities, parks owned by the municipality, private ownership, private properties with easements on it, and then also other municipal-owned land, from environmental services land, Department of Public Works, ending with fish and game as well. They have two parcels. One's located at the dam, where the town has an easement over a portion of that upland, and also downriver between Public Works and Environmental Services. You see this like bluish color there. Fish and Game also owns that. So really, and then another private ownership. We got other things as well. So yeah, so this kind of just gives you outlay of what the current conditions are, and with the expectation that I'll have something a little more refined. I guess I know you're just seeing this right now. What I ask from this body is, is there anything else you'd like to see on here? Don't have to answer right now, but as you look at this map,
Some of the greens are, I don't know if it's
Yeah,
a picture.
I know.
It's kind of hard to see what's what.
I agree with you. I'll update the color scheme. The program only gives you so many different choices, but I'll do that.
So
And where it says private land with no access easement, are we working on? I don't see how you can get to the Creighton Street pumping station where if there's no easement there.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yes, we are in talks with that private landowner on what that may look like. So nothing is advanced at this stage, but we are actively trying to see if there's any opportunities there.
So, go ahead.
I'm sorry, one more. Just to be clear, this, the green that's like above the environmental service, this green thing, that's a municipal land?
That's correct.
Environmental services? They own all?
Not the whole piece, though.
They don't own the whole piece?
No.
No?
Those-
Oh.
Remember I told you the parcel data, the lines that are shown are not accurate
Okay,
to up-to-date deed information.
okay, well, I'll have to be updated.
Okay.
I don't know if I
That- Just to be clear, we're talking the same thing, I'm talking this one here, this is,
The
Yeah,
wastewater
that's a
plant
huge-
parcel.
Yeah,
I know it's big, but
Yeah.
it's huge. Right?
yes, this one.
No, so, yeah, all of this is environmental services.
Mhm.
This, we have, you can barely see this little line right there, that's like, looks like a little V.
Oh,
or an
okay,
arrow.
all right, so there
this
is a,
is the Creighton Street pump station, so the property line actually follows the fence there. We're just not sure if it goes this way or this way, but this is private right here. So this parcel is something that we need to update, and that's kind of the
So-
process that we're going through.
But
okay, I was looking at
this
that.
whole piece here is
That
town.
is-
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so Lindsay was saying to Joe was this area right here needs to be.
Orange area or just
it's
below?
the two-
Just
just
below.
below the orange area.
Yeah.
That will need to be reconfigured, redelineated based
Okay.
off current deed descriptions. So we'll work on that.
So am I correct, is the orange area encompassed, that's where there was an easement for trucks to come in that were involved in pumping?
Right.
And people were saying there was an easement that were in and around the committee, but it's not an access,
Correct.
and that's been determined.
For the
Specific
crane.
to sewer,
Yes.
Yeah.
specific to sewer piping and maintenance and access.
Okay.
Right. To the pump station. That's it.
It's progress to know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I will continue to refine this map, and I'll have an update for you at the next meeting. And then again, if you have any other suggestions, be happy to incorporate those into the map.
Is the fishing game with town access easements above the dam, is that just the river, or is there land? I can't quite figure out.
It's the land there, it's just the way the polygon's drawn currently. I just clicked on it, it was the whole thing, the river. So what I'll do, what my plan was, is to create a new polygon which shows the actual delineation of public access, which is the land itself, not the water. Water is owned by the state, not necessarily just fishing game. So, I'll have that updated. But just for this conversation, purposes for this conversation, I just wanted to highlight that area, at least. So this is right above where the fish ladder is, that piece of land where they have access to that ladder off of Pencos way. Yeah.
What does fee owned mean?
Means the property itself. They own it outright, the property,
Legally owned?
Yep, yep.
It's town property.
town property, right?
And actually been aware of that before, southeast of the boat launch, that would continue to be town property.
Yeah, right there. I don't know, is DPW ownership of this yellow area too?
I think so.
Yeah, so I'll have to update that as the whole, it's two separate pieces, but, a property, but owned by the town, managed by DPW.
How, I guess, again, thanks for putting this together. It's really helpful to kind of be able to envision it finally. But definitely interesting about between the mills themselves. Like, I don't know. We can talk more about that later. But is that something that we should consider pursuing something more formal, or is it?
Yeah, and I think that's what part of these conversations,
Yeah.
these community conversations are, hearing each other, what, the private property owners and also the public, and maybe there's that opportunity where there's a partnership there and
Yeah.
get something, put something together.
Definitely. Oh, it's a shadow.
What I was surprised, just, you know the vista at Heron Point?
Yeah.
Is that really on, I can't tell by this land, but is it actually on Heron Point or is it on some private property?
Yeah, I don't know. I was curious about that line
Yeah.
too, because it does, like, the way this is drawn makes
Right,
it look
so it would
different.
be interesting to know that.
Yeah, like I'd be curious about that, because I know we have access to the actual deed itself,
Yeah,
about where that shows the line.
anyways, just thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
So do you have to pull up deeds or whatever to see more detail around that question, or is that? how-
Yeah, so I would have to do that. What I'd like to do, yes, so deeds, and would it be really nice, I'll probably go to Heron Point and go to that vista and get a GPS, log in the GPS, and then I can project it onto this map and it'll show exactly where it falls. So I think that'd probably be, if I can just take a picture with my phone, I'll get the GPS coordinates through the picture, so, and then I'll just add the coordinates to the program, and it'll put a dot, pinpoint onto where it is, where it lies.
Yeah, definitely interesting. Okay. Oh, thank you guys. Any further questions right now?
Just question, was this something you were looking for or something else you want?
No, I think this is it, because I mean, we've long talked about, I think this illustrates the potential to expanding the riverfront access. I mean, you're not probably walking like on a boardwalk directly over the river, but we've always talked about the connectivity portion, and that the Riverwalk kind of exists from Shanda Park to the north, but it really does show how much there really is to the south, you know, if you wanted to continue to push people that way, and could kind of overcome that private ownership aspect in some regard in the middle. I mean,
And I assume you can zoom in on these and.
Yep. So I could do little insert maps too, zoom in more. So you have like that bigger map, context, or just make multiple maps, you know, and zoom into the focus areas.
Yeah, that would be great when we start talking more about the living shoreline and going south.
Right, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I can do that. So maybe that's what I'll do. So add more focus areas. So you have, you know, you have this context map and then just different aspects of it. You know, a little more resolution to it.
Art, I just have a quick question, and it's not a parcel that's directly on the river, but where the Rivermore property is, and there's the town park that's in that kind of like yellow-orange, right next to that is a large rectangle that's our parking lot.
Yep.
Is that, I was under the impression that we own that as well. That used to be town.
Yeah, I believe Rivermore
Owns that, okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
the orange is the,
The little pocket park?
yeah, pocket
Yeah,
park there,
okay.
Yep.
okay.
I have one more update too on signage. So Ellen Schneider and I are putting together the signs. We got some designs, or conceptual designs that we're working with. So there's going to be two. Phase one is just going to be no swimming. And we're going to post it at 2 different locations. This is what we're thinking about in the park. And the other one's going to be more informational. It's going to be on the kiosk. And it talks about how not feeding the animals and what it does if you do feed the animals. So that's our approach right now. So we should have something more concrete for you all to review at the next meeting.
That sounds great.
This is the Shannon Park for those folks out there.
Yeah, if we're all set, we can move on. again, thanks.
Okay.
We'll spend
Yeah,
some
thank you.
time with it, kind of look through it a little bit more. The only other real update I had, the last time I looked was like 9 this morning, and Wendy hadn't responded yet, but I'm still working on trying to update the file sharing thing. I did get the confirmation back from the town that the original space that was set up when the committee was formed is still available and usable, and they still want us to be using that. I went back and found that link from like 3 years ago, though, and was having a little bit of difficulty accessing it. It also looks like it was secured to who it was sent to, which was the committee members at the time, which I think just you and I are the only original ones. So I don't even know if you guys could access it. So I just had sent it back with a little bit more information of, can we get this potentially updated as well? So just so that it's an active link that everyone can confidently use and access, because I do want to start putting some of the things there, start to aggregate the things that we've been involved with and have touched over the years, like the Great Bay, Living Shoreline Project report, put the annual town report documents there, put stuff like this map there, just all the things that we touch about and share and talk about to be aggregated in one spot, just so it's easy for new committee members to find, it's easy for town staff to find, things like that. So still in progress, but hopefully they can update that link, just because mine theoretically was still active and I still had a hard time getting into it. So
That'd be good. And then when documents are worked on, or they have a home, they have a place, you
there's something, yeah,
put the latest.
yeah, all back to just being able to find stuff. So in progress on that one too. So
Okay.
that's kind of all I had for today. Relatively compact. I'd definitely solicit some input on the annual town report write-up. If anyone has anything specific they want to call out or outline. Also continue just solicit input for the master plan committee stuff. Dale, I am able to go Wednesday as well, so I can do that. But again, just if anyone has anything specific they want to call out, I'm always happy to kind of report it back here. But if there's anything message-wise that you want moving in the other direction, let me know. We can at least bring it up in that forum as well.
Yeah, what are you mostly talking about now in that setting?
I'm not talking about a lot. I'm there to listen. I think there's a lot of really qualified people with a lot more experience in this line of work than me. So more listen, but just knowing the things that we've talked about and the kind of objectives we have and all of that, will bring that input as it becomes appropriate. I think I like that we're going to have our own chapter. The Riverfront in general, I think it's going to be easier potentially to voice those concepts in one defined place than having it as a theme throughout. I don't necessarily think one way is necessarily better than the other. I just think it'll be easier to establish concrete objectives if it has its own place to
me,
be.
it fits right now better that way. May not fit in the future, but right now it seems to fit better.
Yeah.
What time are those master plan meetings at?
Yeah.
5?
Five.
And they're streamed?
5 to 7.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so 5 to 7 every second Wednesday.
Yes.
Okay. I will, between now and next meeting, which would be February 12th, I think that's a good interval to continue to keep, considering the 19th is President's Day, so I would vote that we keep the 12th. Yeah, think about what dates might work for the charrette options as well, just if anyone has any strong preferences there.
A lot of the dates seem to be summer.
Yeah.
I think that might be a problem, especially if you're trying to get the public involved.
Yeah,
That's what I would advocate for the October.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I
it
was,
seemed like the fall dates were being scooped up, is my
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
impression.
And I wasn't writing fast enough. The October dates were what again?
18, 19, something like
No,
that.
it's early. Yes, you're correct, 18th and 19th.
Right on my 10th wedding anniversary.
Perfect timing.
Perfect.
Oh, you can bring your wife with you.
So,
We'll be a
so do we
family day.
need to hold that if we want a fall meeting? Is that something that we can get a quick?
Yeah, so I think the sooner the better.
Yeah, I think I would also lean towards that date. Like, I don't travel anywhere in the summer, but I know people in general do. So if we're seeking participation, fall seems better.
My July, August is just
Yeah.
a
My
blitz.
July is, yeah, the July date was not workable for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree. So, I think the 18th and 19th of October makes most sense. If that was not possible at all, 6th and 7th of September, but, it's coming after Labor Day. So that might be a hard ask for the community as well.
Right after
So,
school
yeah.
starts again.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Things. So
Exactly.
that is also
School
tough.
and everything, so that's tough.
Yeah.
A lot of transitions there. So I think the best would be the 18th and 19th. So I told Plan New Hampshire I'd get back to him early next week after I receive input from everyone.
Yeah.
Seems like you could put a hold on it even before you got formal.
I probably could, so maybe I'll do that. Just say, hey, we're pretty, what's-
Early feedback.
yeah, early feedback,
Yeah.
results, trending in the right direction. Not all votes counted, but we had a good projection.
Yeah, it does. It does seem like a decent bet. Just let people get out of the summer. Let people get out of the kind of transition back around the end of summer as well. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I love it. Got everyone home. So I'll make a motion to adjourn if no one has anything else they want to talk about. Excellent. All in favor?
I'll second it.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Aye.
Yeah,
All right.
thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks. Sam.